Hey, what up, Tops family? So today, like I asked you, we talk about the small knives from Tops Knives. No, just kidding. Of course. Today is the day of the big knives of Tops Knives, and I have a small selection on the table. Of course, that's not all, but that is some out of my collection that I wanted to talk about real quick. I would like to start from the bottom and go to the top, so the best to the end, or for some, not the end, but close to the end. And yes, let's start right in. So, first of all, we have the M4X puncher, which is one hell of a beast. Um, Everybody that watched the puncher series know that knife for sure. It is awesome in the hand. I will not go in details about blade length or everything of all of these knives. If you like to know more, you can always visit topsknives.com and check them out. Yeah, for me, that was one of the earlier knives I got because of the Puncher series. I just wanted to have it, and it is such a beast. It is a great chopper, and it fits right perfectly in your hand, even if you have gloves on. It is one hell of an amazing knife. Um, a knife that means the hell of a lot to me would be the Mag 7, MAK 7, which is a double-edged dagger serrated. And this one is extremely special because of the history. So I had a tattoo of it, and the Tops Knives family was so kind to give me one of those and signature all of it. So all daily grind signatures on, and that is just a lovely, lovely beast of mine, which sits in a separate display for my special tattoo. Awesome knife. Next, let's talk about the US Combat. If you think of a combat knife, the US Combat knife comes into your mind. I mean, that is the combat knife without a question, with a touch by Tops, and it's just awesome in your hand. If you have it, it is a very, very large blade and a perfect fighting guard, so you cannot slip on it. And it is just so freaking awesome. Only thing that would be the perfect addition for it would if it comes in a Kydex, but we don't talk about that here. Next would be the Earth Skills, which is a larger survival-ish outdoor knife. It is not as thick as you might think, so I don't know if you can see it. But it is perfect in your hand. If you have it and you want to go for light chopping and other tasks, this is the knife to go. Comes in a nice leather sheath, which sits perfectly on your belt. Not a dangler, but still a perfect leather sheath. Would we go to the kitchen section? Yes, we would. I mean, Dicer 10, the kitchen machete. This knife, if you have it in your kitchen, it is just so freaking awesome. I mean, I definitely love it in my kitchen supply. And if you want to do fine task, fine. If you want to chop something big, bones, everything, that blade saw it all, and it still looks like brand new. I oil it up every time I use it. It is a good steel, so it is S35VN. But if it comes in touch with moisture, it can rust. So just be careful where you store it in your kitchen. Next one would be the Anaconda 9. and that is just an extremely good chopping tool for outdoors and everything. You have a good grip on it. If you want to do fine tasks, you can do fine tasks and choke it up. And you have two little serrations for a notch, which comes in handy sometimes. And of course, it's just the beast. I mean, if you have it in your hand, that is going nowhere. It's just an awesome, awesome addition to the family of bigger knives. Even bigger would be the Tops Armageddon, which is a larger knife of the section, which is a good portion of blade. You can choke it up for fine tasks also, and it is just an amazing chopping tool. So next would be a little unicorn on the table, because that thing is rare. This is a Longhorn Bowie, but the Longhorn Bowie with a twist. Black traction coating and paper white micarta scales. So that thing was built long ago, and I just wanted to have it in my collection, and I had the opportunity to buy one, so I did. And it is an awesome, awesome knife. So it is nothing else on the scales, just a beautiful Tops logo and Longhorn Bowie and the serial number. And it fits perfectly in your hand. So if you're looking for a Longhorn Bowie, a normal one, it's the same, just a different configuration of traction coating and scales. The choil for choking up is perfectly, so you have a bit of a hang. If you put on a lanyard, you have a lanyard hole at the bottom where you can fiddle down the lanyard or remove one scale and put it through. And if you do it and you have the lanyard here, you can chop with a bit more length. And it is an awesome, awesome knife and beautiful made. I mean, just look at it, it is just freaking awesome. Next would be a knife that I wanted for a goddamn long time, and I couldn't find one, and it drove me crazy. And yeah, it took me a while to get it in my collection because it was sold out everywhere. And I bought one off eBay and it got lost in the shipping process, which, yeah, seems like more somebody stole it, but I got my money back from eBay, and I had the opportunity 1 year later to buy it, and it is just the coffin handle feels super comfortable in your hand. If you want to do fine tasks, you can do fine tasks easily. That's no issue. Swedge is not sharpened, of course, but it's just jimping is perfect. If you want to chop something, it is beautiful, beautiful for it. Lanyard hole on the bottom, so if you want to do choke up at the end with your lanyard, you can do it. And I recommend for almost every knife on the table, if you do hard work with it, put a lanyard on the end and put it on your wrist so you can lose it. That would be definitely one thing I recommend the most. And if you need some lanyard, you just have it there. I normally do a lanyard and do a little bit more length on it and rattle it up, so I have a bit of paracord available if you need it, of course. Next on the table, the mighty, 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 mighty Storm Vector, and that is just a beast. I mean, you can choil it up for fine task if you need so, but that baby screams like chopping, and that is one thing you can definitely do. If you're out in the bush, if you're out in the woods or whatever, you definitely can get it to a good use. It comes in a Kydex with dangler, so it's not in your way if you have it on your waist. And it is just perfectly made. You cannot slip easily up because of the wider bottom section, so you could technically hold it back, but the blade is long enough to not you do so, and you don't need so. So that would be an awesome addition. Next on the table, my man, E.G. Snyder. Jesus Christ, what did you create? The SXB Skull Crusher. That is one hell of a blade. I mean, I have large hands. I have glove size 11 and still, holy fuck, that is one big knife. I mean, if you want to do fine tasks and curl something, or even if you want to chop something, you have serrations for a notch on the end. You have a good guard. You have a pommel that is a little bit spiky, but still perfect. You can do a linear grab from the buttonhole to the front. So you have like a paracord section here, which protects your hand from slipping over or out. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful design made by Tops. And the designer, E.G. Snyder, is a hell of a man. In fact, he's the man. Trust me. If you want to hit him up on social media or on YouTube, you definitely should, because he's a good guy. Next would be El Chedi or El Chete. This is a chopper. If you need to cut something down, you can do it. It is thick, really, really thick. And if you have it in your hands, I mean, even now, I just want to chop the fucking table down. That is just an awesome, awesome, awesome knife, which I highly appreciate and love to the death. It's just so nice. Comes like the Storm Vector in a Kydex with a dangler, so if you have it on your waistband, it is not in your way if you get in the car or something. And it has still the finish by Tops, even if it was used quite a lot. So the finish holds up nicely, and it is just a beast of a knife. I mean, go to your dealers and pick one up. Just get it in your hand, and you know immediately what I mean. That is one beast of a knife. So it's just super nice. Last one on the table. If you need something with a bit more length and you need maybe a double-handed or single-handed short sword, Kuma Cage is your style of blade. I mean, that knife is just so freaking cool. Comes in a Kydex. I have it on my plate carrier on the back, so if I draw it out, I have it immediately combat ready. And it is just so beautiful. I mean, I cut a little bit with it, so not visible. Coating still holds up, but it is just so nice to work with. And like I said, you can hold it one-handed. You can hold it for a bitter choke up two-handed, which is still, I have big hands, guys. Don't think I have small hands. I have big hands, and you still can hold it up pretty tight and fight with it. So that is one hell of a short sword made by Tops. I just wish they would do more of that style, because it is just so awesome. It is just so goddamn awesome. And yeah, sure, if you would to do some small task, you can do it. The guard is close enough to the blade. If you need to baton, of course you can do it. If you need to chop down a tree, you can do it. It is just so perfectly for almost every task that if you need it, grab it. If you don't need it, grab it. I mean, that is a hell of a lot of fun to use. And it is super, super awesome, nicely made. Just like everything else on the table, of course. So, yeah, that would be the bigger knives out of my collection on the table. And I would say I see you next time with the small knives on the table. We have a few good unicorns next time, so stay definitely tuned. And if you didn't subscribe, it would be an honor to subscribe. I would like to build up my YouTube channel as the same as my Instagram channel. And I have an announcement. I will do a giveaway really soon on Instagram for my 1K followers. And yeah, just look at my Instagram channel. It will pop up in the next days. And until then, stay sharp.